I'm like hopping around because like I'm remembering like here and there. See, because they had this dedicated like room where it was for TikTok live streaming, and they had all these props and like these like ring light cameras, and like it was so cool to see like just people like propping up their like ring light and this like tripod. And yeah, they would start like just advertising their product. Like we would call that in America like influencers in the wild, but well, that opportunity landed to me because there were, I think, five keynote speakers, but one of
Mm-hmm.
them couldn't make it last minute. And so one of the people that I was keeping in contact with from the SF consulate, because right after the Jiangnan program ended, I wanted to keep in touch with the people who were like supporting this program, and that was the SF consulate, and they like the work
Mm-hmm.
that Jiangnan was doing.
Mm-hmm.
And so once that program ended, I sent them like this email just like showing my appreciation, and I guess like that allowed me to be on their radar.
Mm-hmm.
And so in the middle of like the academic year, I just got this like email that like, oh, um, so one of the keynote speakers couldn't make it, and I just this is like one of the staff members from the SF consulate. I just visited UC Davis. I stopped by the Chinese department office, and I was talking to them, and your name came up. All of the Chinese professors know you. And and so like that ended up like the professors recommended me to go on to SF consulate and give a speech. And that
Mm-hmm.
was I asked, oh, what do you want me to give a speech about? And they were like, oh, like, well, we heard you went on a program just recently. Could you talk about that and your general experiences and just a message that you wanted to leave? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Were you nervous like preparing? Like, did you feel any like pressure to like do well giving the speech? Was it like in like for a huge audience?
um, it was since it was at the SF consulate, it was for International Chinese Language Learning Day.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it was like the audience was like half Chinese or even like mostly Chinese, and then the
Mm-hmm.
the other half is like English speakers. But
Mm-hmm.
I only had I think 2 or 3 days to prepare. And honestly, I tried to not be nervous about it because I was like, just I'm just there to speak my truth, and speaking my truth isn't that hard for me because
Mm-hmm.
it's just my love for Chinese culture, and I feel like that already comes out so naturally for me. So when I was on stage, I was a little bit nervous, but I it was honestly like a very fun experience to be on that stage and just talking about my experience in China.
Wow. Okay. Well, I mean, thank you so much for sharing that. And I mean, honestly, congratulations again. Like, going through that program and then not having all those opportunities, given and taking advantage of them for sure. Okay, I think we can kind of go back to like the questions now. So I mean, you already
Go
answered
ahead.
the first question, so I won't get into that again. And it was nice of you to mention the SF consulate's experience. So I'll just dive right into like the second question. So you had like a lot of
Mhm.
diverse experiences during that time, interning last year, from learning flying tigers to an immersive platform presentation at the Wuxi Commerce Chamber, and leading the group as a project leader to the Yangshan National Farm. Could you maybe go a little bit deeper into those experiences preparing for the presentation and being a project leader? And the second part would be like, what are some e-commerce aspects you learned about in China, and what challenges and achievements you dealt with being a leader?
So, yeah, so when I was in that Jiangnan program, they had these were the two major projects they gave us, and that was um going to we were each given like a place that we were going to, and there was one at like the I forgot, but there was this like famous street, and someone got assigned to that, and then this like nice like fun park, and then I got assigned the Yangshan peach farm. And what I did for that was it's funny because I actually didn't need to do much as project leader, because like for both of these projects, like for the Yangshan peach farm and the e-commerce project, because we were such like bright, like-minded individuals, I honestly didn't need to do much as a leader. Like everything was flowing very cohesively, and I wasn't needing to micromanage anything at all. Maybe just like some slight like check-ins here or there, but it was very like casual. I was mostly just facilitating. But yeah, so what we did exactly at the e-commerce presentation is we were teaching these local business owners English. So it was very it wasn't very intense or anything. It was actually like a very lighthearted and fun environment. I taught them about like the tipping culture in America, and then we were teaching them how to order clothes, like if you were in a shopping mall in America. And so that's sort of things that we did. And then I'm like hopping around because like I'm remembering like here and there. But the question where you asked like what are some e-commerce aspects I learned in China, when we were at the peach farm, it was actually so cool to see because they had this dedicated like room where it was for TikTok live streaming, and they had all these props and like these like ring light cameras, and like that's so cool. Like, we're at a farm, and then like there's this room for live streaming. Like, oh my goodness, like ring lights and like farm does not like usually go hand in hand,
right?
But yeah, some of my friends got into like the TikTok live streaming, did it for fun, but even outside of that, it was when we were like in the cities of Wuxi and other cities, like very busy touristy streets. It was so cool to see like just people like propping up their like ring light and this like tripod, and yeah, they would start like just advertising their product. Like we would call that in America like influencers in the wild, but
right.
It's so cool like seeing it here because it's so natural. It's natural in China, but if it was in America, people would be like staring at you and be like, this isn't like a daily occurrence. But that was cool. Like people just outwardly promote their products like just on the street. So that's what I learned while I was there.
Very interesting. Well, thank you for sharing that. I mean, yeah, I have to say, because like, I forgot to mention to you that I actually did study abroad in China when I was doing my undergraduates. I didn't do it through the UC Davis program. I did through UCAP. I mean, at the time, I don't think TikTok was a thing yet. But then later, I worked in China like the past year, and you are right. I mean, I don't know if you have used like the Chinese e-commerce platforms. I mean, the most famous one is probably like Taobao.
Oh yeah. Taobao. I've heard.
I don't know if you've like actually used their app, but when you use their app, or actually like even like the delivery apps in China, like Meituan, a lot of times when you see the products advertised, I think there is a little button you'll click on, and then you'll actually see like streamers or influencers like advertising their products. So yeah, TikTok and like influencer thing is like it's a thing there, and I'm actually not too surprised that you saw influencers in the wild in China. But yeah, I do agree that that combination wouldn't really make sense here in the US. And you mentioned tipping, like teaching like tipping culture and how to shop in the US. What do you think that was like a big cultural shock to like the Chinese students?
It was I don't think they showed their like reaction like that. I don't know. I didn't see like a crazy reaction on their
Oh,
faces, but
uh-huh,
I feel like
uh-huh.
the concept was still like a shock to them because like we also talked about like the return policies we have, and you were talking about like Costco and
Yeah.
how like in Costco you could use it, like you could still return it, use it for days or like a year, and you could actually still return it if you have a great argument. But
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that was a shock to them because I don't think that that's common in China. And
Yeah.
I feel like if they actually did experience tipping in real life, I feel like they would be shocked. But I feel like just talking about it in concept form, maybe it wasn't that shocking. But oh my goodness, when I
Mm,
came to America, tipping blew my mind. I was like, why do I have to like pay this? But
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. No, I understand. I think tipping is quite literally one of, like, I guess, the most controversial topics in the US. And I mean, I studied abroad before, and not tipping there just became like a natural habit. And I recently returned to US, so getting into the habit of tipping again definitely took some time for myself. So yeah, very interesting that they didn't have a big reaction. But like, yeah, it is true that I guess just talking about it in general, I don't think they would have like a big reaction right away. So yeah, okay. Next question. I love that you talked about making friends as your final presentation in China. Um, Someone like me, who has studied abroad in China and knowing and experiencing that Chinese culture in China, how would you describe your experience to someone who hasn't been to China?
I would describe my time in China as like very amazing. And that's because, especially as like a foreigner, and if you look like Caucasian looking and not even like Asian like me, I feel like
Hmm.
you'll might even have like a grander time because in China they're so welcoming to foreigners, and I don't think that's like uh made known that well. Like,
Hmm.
oh my goodness, if you just even say like a few words in Chinese and you clearly look like
Hmm.
Caucasian, they're like, oh my gosh, your Chinese is so great.
It's so
Like,
amazing, right? Yeah.
it's so amazing. Oh my gosh. And like I love seeing like those reactions to my Caucasian like friends in the program because I'm like, wow, this is like great. Like they're so welcoming, they're so kind. And that energy that you get from them just like truly motivates you to like, I don't know, continue your learning of Chinese. And I think it's a little funny that since I look Asian, or
Hmm.
actually I look Chinese, that's what all the aunties told me. I never got those
Hmm.
reactions until I told them that, oh,
Hmm.
I'm actually a foreigner and I'm actually Filipino. And then I would get the same reaction. But
Hmm.
I think going on these programs, like each time I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like so excited to talk to the aunties and like everybody and like all the students because they're like, I love the
Hmm.
reaction so much. And so I would tell like anybody to someone who's going to China, you're gonna have a great time. And especially if you're in a program and I don't know, like you might be wearing a shirt that says like you're from like an American program, then you're gonna have a great time because they love foreigners over there. They love like the interactions.
Okay, great, great. Thank you so much for sharing that. I think that hopefully we'll see a lot of students, maybe hopefully at UC Davis, be interested in going on more of these programs in China. Okay, next question. So you returned to China this year to Nanjing, correct? As part of the student delegation in media. Um, how did you return to China this year, and like what was that process like?
Mm. So returning to China, being there for a second time was very different from
Hmm.
my first time in China because the first time in China, I only had 2 months of Chinese under my belt.
Hmm.
And while the program was very kind and like said that, oh, you don't need to know like good Chinese to like enjoy this program, like you don't need that
Hmm.
at all. So I was like, oh, okay, that's
Yeah.
great. Well, when for me, I'm someone who loves talking, and I would want to make the most connections as I can in China.
Hmm.
It would have been very helpful if I knew a lot more Chinese and my Chinese was a lot better. But so I kind of felt bad that, oh, I wish I could have said more and had deeper conversations. But it's okay because of the limitation I had of 2 months of learning Chinese. That didn't stop me from having a really good time, but I said in my mind, okay, the next time I go to China, I really want to talk for longer and have these like deeper like interactions with the Chinese locals. So I'm gonna like study hard, and we'll see how it goes. And so second time came around, I now have like I took like 8 months of learning Chinese at UC Davis. And
Hmm.
second time around, it was completely different. Oh my goodness, the amount of interactions I had was like so much more, and it was so delightful because I could, part of the program was like, I was approaching strangers and asking them, like, I don't know, like, oh, why do you go to this specific park? Oh, like, hi,
Hmm.
like, hi auntie, like why do you like being in the city, and what's your experiences like opening like this shop? Like I can actually like hold conversations and learn more about their daily lives. And so returning
Hmm.
to China this year was just absolutely different, and it was amazing that I could talk more and learn more from Chinese people.
Okay, great. That is very amazing. Wow. So like so I guess based on that, like how would you rate your Chinese language levels? Like maybe out of 10. Like where do you think you fit right now?
Mm, okay, I think I would rate it like a 6.6. I think it's very
6.6.
a 6.6.
That's
Yeah.
so specific. Any like reasoning behind that specific number? Is it
I think
because of the number six is kind of like a good thing in Chinese, so that's what made you say 6.6?
I did not think about that, but I
Oh.
think my reason is like I'm I like to downplay my skills, and so
Mm.
I would like, out of a scale of 10, I don't know, I would rate myself like a 4. But with the people I've talked to and the people who've like tested my Chinese, they're like, oh my gosh, no, like it's a lot better than you think. And so I'm like, okay, I'll like do it a little bit higher. And so 6.6 is where I landed.
Okay. Okay, great. Thank you so much for sharing that. Oh, okay. Okay, we have like 10 minutes left. So, okay,
Great.
let's move on to the next question. The next question is, this time in China, you learned about China from a different perspective, and it was much of a growing experience for you. But also particularly in how China utilizes AI in their creativity, animation, and live streaming. You mentioned how you were surprised by how China uses AI. Could you kind of walk with me how exactly China utilizes AI and from that process of what you learned?
Yeah. So here in AI in America, like you kind of just hear about like, I don't know, very normal uses of AI, very conventional ones. Like, okay, you
Hmm.
could crop out this person. Oh, you could like do these captions in another language. Like it's it's not that wowing. But when you go to China, like when you hear all of their different usages of AI, like in so many different aspects, I'm like, wow, like you guys are really like utilizing it to like its greatness of what AI is like true potential. And um I don't remember a lot of like AI things we covered in last year's program because it's like kind of a long time ago. But this year,
Hmm.
um, we talked a lot about AI in agriculture. But before I talk about the agriculture part, I'm gonna talk about like how they used it in like live streaming. It was a very small segment in the program, but we visited this the radio slash like communications building, like broadcasting of Jiangsu province, and they were showing us how they were using AI. And these are the two things I remembered. One, they use AI. to like, they get like these drones and then they send them out in the city, and then they're able to replicate that in the virtual world. And then the second one is they were showing us like these videos that they were making, and this person was speaking in Chinese, but then the voiceover was in English, and I was like, wow, that's great. And and that was really cool to see her speaking simultaneously and that being translated. But then the crazier part that I found like a lot interesting in how they used AI was in agriculture. I remember a lot of things from how these AI in that area, because we visited 5 different cotton farms. Like I definitely remember stuff. But what they do is, this is like super surprising. Farmers in China can work remotely now. They can work remotely because they're using AI and smart technology into their like systems of like harvesting cotton and seeing like the amount of water that needs to be like given at that area, like, and it's all in an iPad. And so some farmers are just like using an iPad and they just like click a few buttons and there they go. Like they're harvesting the cotton and they're watering the plants. And I'm like, that's amazing. And a debate topic that came up in the conversation was, but wait, aren't you like taking away jobs from these farmers? And then they were like, yes, but like that's not really the way to think about it. This use in AI in agriculture is like so beneficial because now you're seeing this less demand of farmers on the farm. Like you don't need that many people doing these like high intensive like labor jobs. And this is great for the younger generations because younger generations, they don't want to work on a farm. They want to find higher paying jobs. They want to go into the city and find more entertaining work. And so it's been like very well received by the people, because now generations like me, like Gen Z, they don't have to work on a farm anymore. So they like that shift of less like that demand of farmers. Yeah.
Oh, I see. Well, that makes sense. Wow, thank you so much for sharing that. That is very interesting. I've never thought farmers working remotely, but that definitely sounds like a very cool idea.
Oh, and this was in Xinjiang. We were visiting like 5 different conferences in Xinjiang. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I'm not sure how it is on the east, but like that's how they were operating west of China.
Oh.
My personal take on it is you can push back on it, but there's only so much you can do that. I think it's better to just embrace it, because there's so much you could see of how it could benefit society and humanity. And I think it's very interesting seeing how Chinese people view it and how American people view it. In America, there's like this big community who really don't like AI, and also understandably so. There is like these the data centers and like the amount of water it needs to run these like centers, and there's that in an environmental aspect. And then there's also the part where like, oh, but they're gonna take away artists' jobs. And yes, but like there's so many companies out there that still really value like human-made art. And also like if you look at AI art and human art, it's very different. It's not gonna truly replace like the animation or like the artwork you did. It's so different. While in China, I think it's so interesting to see that they are embracing AI, and it's very refreshing to see that because they have so many like creative uses for it. And I think just in like Asian culture, they're in this mindset, oh, like how can we truly benefit and help society? How can we support our people with AI? Like how can we use it for the good? Because I feel like in America they're like, how can we use it to not use these real people for art? Like to cut costs down. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like there's so much of that in America, but not so
Mm-hmm.
much of how can we use it for the better, for the good. And so, but China is different. And seeing it be put in a lot more of a positive light is very refreshing. And
Mm-hmm.
like even when I was talking to like college students about like AI, they weren't exactly like afraid of it. They're like, oh yeah, like they'll like say it for fun, like in a jokingly manner, like, oh my gosh, they're gonna like take away my job. And they're like, by the way, a person who wants to pursue film and like photography, but they're not worrying about it. In fact, I think they actually welcome the idea of how much AI is making their job easier, like especially in like Adobe like software photo editing programs. They're like, oh my gosh, AI is making my job so much easier. Like things like that. They're highlighting the good of AI. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, yes, exactly. Like that's great. And in terms of like environmental impact, I think China is doing, I haven't done a lot of research about it, but I think China would be doing a lot better in tackling these issues of like, oh, like the amount of water that needs to be used. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
China is so built that so fast at building like new infrastructure and new like I don't know sewage systems. I feel like they
Mm-hmm.
can totally like minimize the amount of damage that AI like data systems need to make. While in America, like I don't know what they're doing, but it's kind of not that. Um,
Oh,
so yeah.
oh, okay. Well, thank you so much for sharing that perspective. And I do agree that China does like they do view AI as something that is something for like the better good, it's for like the public, something like more of like a social thing. And I noticed that I don't know if there's like a deep correlation, but it could also be, I guess, cultural differences. Like in China, collectivism is definitely a lot stronger there. So that kind of affects, people viewing as, it could be something as simple as like the public transit system, it's very convenient, it's for the public. Where in the US, unfortunately, we are a bit more on the individualism mindsets. So would you kind of agree that cultural factors also kind of play an influence to that perspective?
I would definitely agree on that. On that
Hmm.
for sure.
Okay, great. Okay, next question. You said that you had more time talking to the students this time around at Nanjing University. Besides more time, how would you compare the dynamics of the student circle between last year in Jiangnan Dashi and this year at Nanjing Dashi?
Funny that you mentioned this, and funny that this statement ended up like coming back to me. But when I
Mm-hmm.
was this interview, I think I was really nervous, and so I said something that was completely incorrect. Um, um, there's two differences between this year's program and last year's program. So
Mm-hmm.
I was in I was in Wuxi last year for like a whole month, and we were based in the university dorms. So I actually had like 3 weeks to talk to the university students over there, and we like developed the deepest bonds, and like we've become like absolutely great friends. Um, but when we were in that program though, we visited I think just two more universities, and in those two university visits, we didn't even get like an arranged meeting with their students. So that was a little interesting how like yes, I was largely based in the university, but when we went to like other universities, we weren't even given the chance to talk to their students. But in this year's program, we were going to like, I don't know, I think we went to like 4 universities, and in each visit, it was in the plan that we would have at least an hour to talk and interact with the students. So that was kind of the difference. But since I had the amazing opportunity of being at the university for like at least 3 weeks, um, yeah, I have like there were student volunteers with us on the program. And so when we went to like Chenzhou, Xiamen, um, they were with us. And
Mm-hmm.
so they were with us on those trips, and then they were back with us on campus. And we became very amazing friends. I think in just like 3 days we became so close, and I still talk to them to this day, and I wish them happy birthday when it comes around. And absolutely super duper close because we had that time. And but with this program, since we only had like an hour, I didn't have that capacity to connect them on such a deep level and like go on all these outings with them. So the amount of like relationships I was able to get from the universities between these two programs are very different.
I see. Okay. Thank you so much for sharing that, and also kind of correcting yourself, because I think I found this information from like one of that video that was posted on Instagram. So yeah. All right.
But wait, I'd like to add another thing. But even though we only had like an hour or like an hour and a half talking with the students, even then, like, we clicked, and it was just like amazing to see that in Nanjing University. Because like we're all the same age. I was teaching them like some very funny things. Like in America, they're 6, 7, and so I was going down and teaching them that. Yeah, so I was talking to them about that, and we also got quite close in the time that we had, and when we were in Xinjiang, we only had like 30 minutes actually to only talk with this like because we were in a table and they were doing like a tea class, and yeah, one of the students was there to help us. We only had 30 minutes to like talk with this person, but oh my goodness, it's so crazy how like first 15 minutes it was kind of very awkward, but then when we broke the ice, oh my gosh, it was actually like it was so fun talking with them. And then we like suddenly started singing Baby by Justin Bieber, because it was like, whoa, this is so crazy, like connections that we're making, like his music like transcends these barriers. Justin Bieber transcends like cultural barriers. And it was how it came up in the conversation is we were like, oh, what kind of artists do you listen to? And so the student goes like, oh, I listen to X, Y, and Z, but in terms of like American artists, I listen to X, Y, and Justin Bieber. And you're like, Justin Bieber? And then one of my friends starts singing Baby by Justin Bieber, and I was like, oh my gosh. And then so I started singing along, and then we didn't expect it, but like 4 seconds later, he starts joining us too. And then so there's like this group of like students in the class just singing Justin Bieber while the tea class was happening.
Wow.
But yeah, actually crazy.
Well, that sounds like a very, I don't know, like wholesome moment. That's very, very, very cute. Oh my God. Okay, great. Thank you so much for sharing that. Next question. You traveled to Wuxi, Fuzhou, Quanzhou, Xiamen, Beijing, Nanjing, and you just mentioned Xinjiang, right? Yeah. If you had to pick one favorite city or place or location, which one would it be and why?
This is a hard one. Okay.
It could be in different aspects, like maybe for food, I prefer so and so, or
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do two favorites.
Okay.
The first one is like a general, like what immediately comes to mind when you say like favorite city. I think for me it's Beijing, because there I've formed like a very special core memory, because you know how, yes, China has been a very big dream of mine, and what do I see when I look online? I see Beijing, I see the Forbidden City, I see the Great Wall, and I'm like, for me, that is the epitome of like of accomplishing that dream of going to China. And when we were in China, and the first 8 days were like dedicated for just going to different cities, and when it was time to go to Beijing, oh my goodness, I was like, oh my gosh. And then on our itinerary was Forbidden City, and then the next day was the Great Wall of China. And that was actually so crazy for me. Forbidden City was amazing, but then the biggest like shock to my eyes was being on the wall and like walking in on the stairs. I was like, oh my goodness, like it truly hit me that I really did this. Like I really tried so hard on my application, and I'm finally here at this moment where I'm standing here at one of the seven wonders of the world. And I was like, that was my moment of I made it. Like, oh my goodness. It was so sentimental and special for me. Like breathing in this like nice fresh air on the top of the Great Wall. I was like, wow. So that was one of like that's definitely easiest my favorite cities because I have like so much like emotions behind that city for me. And my second favorite would be let me see. Urumqi? Or just
Hmm.
Xinjiang in general.
Hmm.
Because a lot of people when they're going to vacations in China or just to explore, they don't go to Xinjiang because that's not like the popular place. And so what makes it like a favorite place of mine is because interacting with the locals there where they haven't interacted with many foreigners was like so special to me. I was like, oh my gosh, because I was shopping in Urumqi and I was like talking with the shop owner and I was like, yeah, we're actually from America. And she was like, oh my gosh, what, from America? And you're like, yeah. And then like she got so excited. And then yeah, like the previous few other shop owners we talked to, they had the same reaction. Like they were so amazed that someone from America is in Xinjiang. And I was like, yeah. And then oh my gosh. But yeah, that there was just one particular shop owner because we were in that shop for such a long time. I think like 2 hours. They were
Wow.
so fascinated with us because I was also shopping with like two other delegates. And so yeah, we had like this entire conversation. They were asking us like so many like fun questions, wanting to learn more about us. And
Hmm.
yeah, I was like, yeah, you don't get that many foreigners. Like, yeah, we don't get that many foreigners. Like,
Hmm.
oh yeah.
Wow. Okay. I mean, what I guess from your interactions like with the local Chinese there, like what would be like one of the most common questions you get asked a lot?
Mm. Um, I get asked a lot, why are you here?
Hmm.
What do you like about China? And are you enjoying it so far? Yeah.
Mm. And how do you usually answer that
I I
to
usually
them?
I easily answer, oh, we're here for like a program, like a
Hmm.
bunch of like American students with us too. And then the
Uh-huh.
second one is they asked me a lot, I think in my first year, in that like first program.
Uh-huh.
And since I didn't know how to speak much Chinese, I couldn't answer that.
Uh-huh.
So I didn't get asked that much in this second time around.
Okay.
Uh, but what was the third one? Oh, like, am I enjoying it so far? Yes, I absolutely
Yeah.
am. Yeah,
Hmm.
I'm like, oh yeah, like the food is great, and like, oh yeah, it's like so cheap here, so I can buy like so many food. Yeah, I was like,
Oh my God. Okay. Wow. Okay. Great. Thank you so much. Next question is you previously mentioned that you have been thinking of ways to stay connected, like pursuing an accounting internship in China, or maybe in the long term being assigned there by a firm. With this recent trip to Nanjing, how has the mixed learning of e-commerce, AI, combined with cross-cultural learning changed how you view your future studies or career path?
um, that's a really good question. Let me think.
Hmm.
Um, well, now that I know so much more about China and like topics I didn't even know like could come up in the conversation, like AI and farming. Like, I think
Hmm.
those are topics I'm really excited to talk about if I come across more Chinese people in my life. Whether that's like I'm in China again or I'm working and there's people from China, and I feel like it'd be very interesting that I finally have like these topics to go from, and I don't know, discuss those topics with them,
Hmm.
and um I being assigned by a firm to China is definitely a very big dream of mine. But also like even here, if I were to like work in a firm here, and I don't know, like a higher up was Chinese, I think it would be like fantastic if I could like converse with them too.
Well, you never know. You never know, and you know, hopefully that manifests. Never know. There are a lot of companies, I think, Chinese companies that are trying to like break into the U.S. nowadays. So, definitely keep an eye out for that.
For sure.
Okay, great. Next question. Okay, we're almost done. Any advice for students who may be interested in applying for either the internship program via Jiangnan University for UC Davis students? And then for the non-Jing program, I don't know if that's affiliated with UC Davis or not. But if it's not, you can maybe add some general tips for that as well.
Yeah, so I've been very fortunate to have in the only 2 programs I've applied to, I got accepted to both of them, and I've been very fortunate that's happened to me. And I think a major key factor that has allowed me to be accepted is because I know my why very personally and very deeply. And when you're doing these applications, usually there's a written application. They will ask you like, why do you want to go to China? And knowing your why makes all the difference because you can elaborate so much on it. You could extract so much of your feelings and put it into your essay. And I think that's truly what happened with mine. When I write my application essays, after I've like written them, I always feel so accomplished. And when I read over them, I'm like, yep, I did that. That's a good essay because that truly represents me and my interests. And so, yeah, that's my biggest advice. Know your why and you will write your essays beautifully. And yeah, and of course, when it comes to time that they're going to read your essays, they're going to be like, yeah, that's the one. That's the one who's going to go to their program and make the most out of their time in China.
Really good advice. Great. Thank you. Okay. Final quick question. Favorite food in China and favorite Chinese phrase or word?
Okay. My favorite food in China is these egg rice rolls. It's 鸡蛋肠粉.
Ah, 鸡蛋肠粉.
That's my favorite. And then my favorite Chinese phrase is 你最喜欢哪一家店?
Like which is your favorite store?
Boba shop. Yeah,
boba shop?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, boba shop.
Yeah.
There are like a lot of boba options there.
Right.
Very different from, we do have like Haiti here now, but yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Great. Then for boba, like what was your favorite boba spot in China?
Ooh, my favorite. Oh my gosh, 차지.
차지. 차지. It's really good.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's famous because, well, it tastes good. It tastes kind of like healthy, but then also it contains a lot of caffeine. And apparently a lot of Chinese people have said that like online on like Xiaohongshu and stuff. And like they can barely go to sleep. But obviously kind of varies for each person. So I don't know if that applies to you.
For our delegation, because we were like kind of tired because our like itinerary was jam-packed. We would go to Chaiji because like yes, it tastes good, but also we needed caffeine. Oh my goodness. So Chaiji was like a favorite.